Haha. You can unmute now. Yo. Welcome back. Shit, I lost my mic. Welcome back to Dating with Disabilities. I'm your host with the most, Duante, Suitman, Barnett. We've even got our little artwork in the background. Shout out to Reese, who made that for me a long time ago out of Boise, Idaho. I appreciate it. Looks like the logo. We've even got kind of an office theme going, and it's all bright. So I'm a sexy bitch today. Let me hear it. Holler.
Holler for the professional.
You're a boss, babe.
I'm a jefe, as all my Mexican friends at work tell me. You know what I mean? Like I'm a sexy bitch, I guess is what that means.
You're a boss, babe.
I'm a boss, babe, right? But so here's the thing is, I think we missed last month. We lost a couple people. Some people grow, some people do different ventures. And then also we have a couple of changes to announce. So no longer will we be a panel of 6. We will be a panel of 4. 3 women and 1 guy. I'm outnumbered. It's kind of like 3 women and a baby. You know what I mean? I'll let you figure out who's the baby. Variety D was calling it Charlie's Angels. I was like, I'm not old, and I'm not the old James Kerrigan. Okay, I'm not. That's not gonna work for me. I'm only half white. Like I don't identify with that. You know what I mean? Like that doesn't work. But there is some great news. What we're gonna do is we're gonna start really diving into the other disabilities. We've done about 6 or 7 episodes, and most of the time we're talking about the 6 of us. So we've talked about everything we deal with. So what we're going to start doing is having a guest show up, and what they'll do is they'll tell us about their particular disability and how it affects their dating life, how it may help their dating life. Shit, can they have a dating life? I know we've got Jamie Sullivan. I'm hoping to get on here. He's nonverbal, right? So he's got a chair. He's kind of like Stephen Hawkins. They've got the same voice somehow. I don't know why. Maybe they have the same software. I don't know. But it's funny because, I almost want to ask Jamie, do you want to record my voice to be you, Jamie? Do you want to sound like a black guy in the UK? Wouldn't that be funny if, he had a black guy saying the N-word as a guy from Britain? That would be hilarious. Like, he'd be like, I didn't say
no,
nigga.
yeah,
My Alexa said nigga, right? Like, I mean, if he doesn't say it without the hard R, does it count, right? Like, I don't know. But that's a total different topic. So next month, we'll have our first guest. And our first guest on Dating with Disabilities is actually going to be the same person who was our first guest on Autastic Artists. Yeah, they're a comedian out of Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. They go by Juliana Hang. They're a wonderful comedian. They've started producing Cross Borders, which is a show that highlights comedians with disabilities and entertainers with disabilities. So it's a great way for us to expand and also educate. Part of this program was to have fun and have a laugh. But the other part of this program was to make sure that we had an educational factor, I guess is how I put it. So without further ado, welcome our panel. We have the polite kitty cat is what she called herself, I think. Give it up for Audra Sisak, the new comedian on the block, right?
Yes.
And then also in our group, we have the Dirty D, Variety D. She may want to unmute so we can actually hear her, right? The only time something isn't in her mouth is when she's talking. And most of the time she's talking, so there's never time to put nothing in her mouth. Give it up all the way from Britain. Give it up for Variety D.
Yes.
I'm not Dirty D.
Oh, she's dirty, all right.
Today.
She's the very dateable D.
She's Dominique, but she's Variety D if you're nasty. You know what I mean? I remember that Janet Jackson song, right?
It's now 8 o'clock.
Isn't that it? It's not 8 o'clock. It's not the red light special yet. I heard you. And then last but not least, our last panel member still surviving, still kicking it with us, our co-host.
It's me, the potato chip enthusiast.
And we have the bondage bear out today, I see.
Yes,
right?
he's back.
BDSM bear, bondage for bear. Please don't put it in my butt and beg me, bear. However you want to look at it, you know, I believe the only pegging that will be done on me is on a cribbage board. You know what I'm saying? Like that's about it.
We got nerd jokes.
Oh, we always got nerd jokes, but like, here's the thing: is I'm trying to figure out. You said today you're a handsome guy. We haven't talked about that, so can we touch on that? What did you mean by you're a handsome guy today?
Hell yeah. So for people who don't know, I identify as gender fluid, and basically it's very similar to a spectrum. You have feminine on one side, you have masculine on the other side, you have neither in the middle, and I move across that spectrum day to day. Some days I wake up and it's like I am the hottest man alive, and other days I wake up and it's like I'm a pretty princess. Other days it's a no bones day and I'm like, you know what, I don't have time for gender. I'm just a potato. I don't care. I'm too tired. It's too much work.
I love it.
You know,
Today's gender is cookie.
Hold up. I figured this out. Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. Enjoyers have nuts. Mounds don't.
Exactly. There you go.
I think I brought that back. You're just an almond joy or mound every day. It just depends on what flavor you want. Do you want almonds today or not? All right.
And some days they want to take them and mesh them together in a ball and then say yummy.
Yes.
Oh my God. I was thinking of M&M's chocolates. You know, the ones without no nuts, but the shells.
Oh yeah.
The kind of shells. And I got chocolate in it.
This just got crazy. These So here's the crazy part is now I'm outnumbered. There's 3 women, 1 guy. Before it was 4 on 2. Now I'm getting a quadruple. I'll take it. But I guess it's a tag team because we got handsome Henry today. So it's 2 guys and 2 chicks. All right. Hey, tag team, switch your partner. Round around, do-si-do. Here we go, right?
You know me. I play for both teams.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So here's the thing is we always have a topic so I can get this shared out. So today the topic is, have you seen Love on the Spectrum 2 and what were your thoughts? Go ahead. Anybody, what do you thought? What do you got, Audra?
I have not seen it yet, and I've purposely not seen it yet because I just know what someone is going to say. So I'm waiting for all of the negative views to get out there so I don't see them. I don't want to be on social media. They can go all do their thing, and then I will go see it with, I guess, a non-biased opinion.
That's a good way to just view anything. I like it.
Yeah. What about you, Dee?
You gotta unmute.
Is that the American one? That's the American one. No, I am not watching any of those undateable things because I got already what's it called, scarred by watching Undateables here in the UK. I'd rather watch The Closer 2 times by Dave Chappelle rather than watching Love on the Spectrum thing. Yeah, I said it. I am not gonna watch that yet.
See?
No.
I have not. So just so everyone is clear too, I have not seen the Chappelle. I will not see the special. So because I know everybody has asked me about that.
Yeah, everyone asked me too.
See?
I've actually seen a few important clips of the specials. I've actually heard trans people talk about their opinion on the specials. I got my own opinions. That could be a whole different episode. All I'm gonna say is like, yo, just respect trans people. It's not hard. Can we just do that? Thanks.
Yeah, I think that was the whole thing, is that I wanted to I respect trans people. I respect people. Like, humans are humans, you know? And for me to advocate or say anything, I would hate to do that because I feel like I'm stepping over their voice when trans people really needed to speak up and talk about what happened there. And I'm glad they did. I read all the articles and I shared them and I was like, yay, go. So
yeah, it was a good conversation. But going back to Love on the Spectrum, that was good conversation as well. So I'm glad you said that you haven't watched it yet, but you want to watch it until all the, you know, those reviews go through, because the same thing I'm doing as well.
Yep.
We can get it here, but I'm not watching. Nah, because it's like it's those stereotypes that keep showing on these things. You know, they put that background music, the atmosphere thing. What's called what producers do, the post production does. And if someone says something wrong or looks at someone funny, they go doo-doo-doo. You know, that's like zooming through the camera.
Yes,
like some
you know, that
Hollywood
effect stuff.
Nah, man. Like it's made by JVC days. Nah, man. Yeah, that's the one right there.
Drama.
Like, hold on. Do one more time. Hold on.
That is perfect.
I love fairies. No, you see what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to see none of that, man. It's gonna make me cry. Those poor little darlings. No.
Exactly. Dante's been awfully quiet.
That's my spin on it.
Dante's been producing and sharing it in 42 groups.
Tuning out our nonsense.
Doing my fucking job. So here's my answer. I got answers to both. Part of the reason why we do this podcast is because of that show, Dating with Disabilities. Not dating. We're dating with disabilities.
We're dating with disabilities.
What's their show?
Love on the Spectrum.
I had a Bloody Mary in between two shows, and it was magnificent. Let me tell you. So part of the reason why I do this podcast is because I felt like everybody on those shows was visibly and easily identified as being disabled. And I don't think they're showing the extremities of being disabled, the extremities of being autistic and Asperger's instead of the everyday person with the Asperger's. I do like the story, though. And they're real people. And whether you like it or not, I support it for the fact that there's no other show highlighting people like them. So why in the fuck wouldn't you at least turn it on and let them get paid for a view?
Yeah.
Think about that part for a second. Okay? That hurt your feelings, didn't it, Variety D? That kicked you in the nuts because you're like, shit, now I got to watch it just because he's got a point. Yeah, bitch. Gotcha, bitch.
Okay, put it this way. I'll watch it with my brothers because remember, I have two brothers with both with autism. So one's autistic, other one's ADHD. So ice and fire.
Now you got something to watch with them, right?
Yeah, but it's going to be emotional for me because I'm going, listen, boys, if any of these girls that judge you, I'll beat them up, yeah? I don't care. Like, I'm the big sister.
So, secondly, we'll talk about Dave Chappelle for a second.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
I'm going to jump in the fire because here's why. I'm Suitman Productions, and there are things that I find funny that I don't endorse on my stage. I want everybody to hear that again. There are things that I may find funny that I don't endorse as a producer. Why is that? Because I have a responsibility to not promote things that I feel are targeted or will promote or generate other people to act in a shitty manner. Now, did Dave Chappelle really do anything wrong? That's not for me to say. I'm not the group he's talking about. But the funny part is that as long as he was doing jokes about black people in the same demeaning manner, everything was okay. Point one. Point two, I would not say that I feel like he was attacking the community from my perspective as far as being a comedian. Was he making jokes about them? Was he being stereotypical? A lot of things that are bad? Yes. Was he being attackful? And like Eddie Murphy, where he opened his special talking about an F word leaning out the car. Woo, woo, woo. And that's not a police siren. That's just a gay guy leaning out the window screaming. He didn't do anything like that either. Okay. 3, the major problem is that he's too good to do something that inspires other shitty comedians to think it's okay to do. Need you to hear that again. He is too powerful and too good of a comedian to be doing things that will inspire shitty comedians who don't have that comedic right or even comedic value to make it at least funny if they're going to punch down to do the same thing. So what I'm comparing this to is when you're that funny, it's like Trump making fun of disabled people. It's like Trump being racist. It's like Trump talking about building a wall. 90% of comedians that are at an open mic are going to be Caucasian males. So now by David Chappelle, a black guy who's a minority, talking about trans people, the white guy obviously feels he has a right now to do all his shitty jokes. That is going to be the biggest problem I have with that special.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. This was not supposed to be a fucking... Look at what you got me doing. I think I avoided getting canceled. I think I avoided getting canceled.
But it's good that you said that. You made it clear from your point of view as a comic and someone who's talking from your own point of view. You're not following the trend.
Right.
No, do I think there was some humor in it? Yeah, I might have thought it was funny. Is it something I would promote? No. Is it something that should have been doing? I would tell everybody to go watch and tell everybody to get out there and watch. No, I'd be a fucking idiot to do so, right? But my biggest problem with it is Jimmy racist, who hates trans people and spits on them and you know, and tries to pick up, you know, trans prostitutes to bully them and throw stuff at them and does hateful shit. Now thinks it's okay to go on stage and do that.
Exactly.
That's the problem.
That's the problem.
That's the problem is now South Park's going to make more trans jokes. That's the problem.
I was just thinking of that, the animation. So I was thinking of South Park. I'm going to give a big shout out to Miss Blaine Monroe. I spoke to her as well. Gave a big shout out. It's about laughing at yourself and then you laugh at others.
Yes.
So like, yeah, spoke to her and yeah, it's just literally a whole different dynamic in this generation because remember, look at the days of Richard Pryor, Paul Mooney, and that you said Eddie Murphy when he's wearing red something.
We're not even that far behind it. Bernie Mac.
Yeah.
I expect
not that he attacked him, but you know what I mean. I don't think he ever attacked him, but you know what I mean. I ain't no punk motherfucker. I ain't scared of you motherfuckers. I ain't scared of you. Yeah, right. You know what I mean. And the toxicity that comes with being male. Even like we talked about the Andrew Dice Clay. Hey, you tits. Jack and Jill walked up the hill. She got fucked for a pail of water. Right. Right. But those were the norms. And so then, and I had a huge conversation. Jesus, we're not even talking about dating yet, but we'll get there. Yeah. I had a huge conversation before I did Social Security influencers with the 60 and older crowd. And the guy was talking about it. They were like, it's nice for old people and women. And I said, so great, cool. I'm glad you old white women now know what it's like to feel like a minority. Because you were still a woman, right? So you'd always get that spot as a white woman. You wouldn't see a black woman. You'd see a white woman if there was a woman, right? So now that you're old and you no longer have boobs and you're no longer sexualized, now you feel like a minority because you're old and a woman. So no, right? And then I try to explain to as they're like, I don't think it's that bad as far as comedians. And then I said, how about producers then?
Ooh,
they got quiet. And I said, if 90% of your producers, let's not even talk about this on the comedy scale. Let's take this bigger. Let's talk TV because we were talking about dating low on the spectrum, right? If 90% of your producers are Caucasian men who are 40 to 60 years old, do you think they give a shit about people with special needs? Do you think they give a shit
about baby boomers?
Trans people, right? Do you think they give a shit about mixed people? Do you think they give a shit about ESL people? Do you think they should give a shit about any of these things, right? So if those are the people who could control who gets a TV contract, control who gets a pilot, control who gets all these things, then you're telling me it's the opinion and I guess you could say the hype of these people and that demographic of a sheltered 40 to 60-year-old baby boomer who controls what we see on TV, who controls our representation, right? Who controls what we get to hear. So when you take that to comedy, or you take that to podcasts, or you take that, now podcast is different because there's anybody can do them. But the executives that are deciding who gets the big money, most of those people are what?
The white older males, yeah.
Right.
They are old like Hugh Hefner when he was in his good days.
right? So that's the new fight. The new fight is finally getting people in power to show that there isn't one spectrum of comedy. And I remember I had one white entertainer talk to me about how he felt like he was getting passed up or people were getting more chances. And I was like, dude, you're 21 years old and white. We can hear your jokes or style of jokes everywhere.
Anywhere, literally.
The comedian you're jealous of is a gay Filipino man. There's not a lot of those running around here. So he's kind of got a unique perspective, right? Not everywhere he goes, they're like, that's funny. One funny little Mexican Asian guy or Filipino, what they say he was, right? Right. I think he's a little gay. I think he's overly friendly. Did he say he was gay? Right. Instead of just being one of 17 white 20-year-olds that made dick jokes and rape jokes and cock jokes. You know what I mean? So anyway, I think we've digressed enough. I almost put my foot in my mouth. I put it in my mouth somehow. There's white people out there talking about cancel this fucker. Get rid of him, right? Jesus. So, we got some great topics today. We got two of them. So I think they're equally as important because sometimes for some people without intimacy, there is no orgasm. So with that said, I think we should start with intimacy. Are we in agreement there? I think that's a good answer.
Yeah.
I know, I'm acting like a bitch. All the guys are like, no, talk about coming, dude. Talk about that big schlong. Yeah. Okay, so up first, I think today we're going to go with the handsome man, potato chip enthusiast.
Oh, shit. That's
Tell me what is intimacy to you? How do you feel about it? And when did you really get that idea of intimacy?
This is a hard one because I had to like dive deep into my past and my emotions and when I started dating and just everything. Because I mean, I started dating when I was like 13, 14. I mean, I think growing up, my idea of intimacy, like when I started out, was just like movies and TV, and the focus of romantic relations is the climax and the milestones and the I love yous and the kissing. That's what matters. But they just gloss over everything in between because there's not time to show all that stuff in the character development. So for a while, I kind of had that expectation. And then I was dating some idiots for a while, and they're just like so focused on the sexual aspect and just like the conquering and the moving forward. And it's just like, this is not what I pictured. This is not what I imagined. This is not a vibe right now. Not out here having a good time.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, and then once I was dating as an adult, things started actually making sense. And it was like, wait a minute. We can focus on the small things and the hand holding and the I love yous and the character development and things that you do for me and the consent and the mutual respect for each other. And then it became more of a beautiful thing. And then I started to realize that like I cannot have the climaxes and the physical aspect without the emotions.
Exactly. Has that helped you with your writing?
Oh, 1,000,000,000%.
Okay.
Like when I first started writing, the relationships were really flat. And then when I was like dating and stuff, I was able to look at the little things, like how it feels to look into her eyes or hold his hand or to open up and be emotionally vulnerable with somebody for the first time. And stuff like that, and it just like changes.
Oh,
yeah,
I love it.
Yes, and then recently I've been seeing somebody new once again after my 8 months of successfully being single and focusing on myself and what I want versus what I need. And we both love just the little things. Sometimes we literally will just like sit and just stare at each other for like 5 minutes and we won't say anything except, wow.
Okay, so Janejira has been pretty quiet as far as, because we actually do talk.
Wait your turn. You're not going to get to interrupt her, bitch. Okay?
Well, you were busy producing. You were producing, so I was actually
busy
playing
doing
toys.
anything. They can't see me. I want
to see where this is going.
That's called listening. And nobody else knew I walked away from the computer, bitch. Mind your business.
I did. I was like, where's he going?
Shut up, Variety D. She was like, he's got pants on. Damn it, but I see the gray sweat. Those are a nice day. She said, I saw a little bit of shade on the side of that mountain with all your crotch. All right. I'll let you bizoy. So here's my thing, and I think she got at it. We'll get to it. We're not going to get too personal. Remember, we're on an hour time limit today. So that's part of it, okay? So remember, we're on our time limit. These are going to be a little bit faster because we forgot to say to all the listeners out there now, guess what? You can watch this on YouTube at any time. But now you'll also be able to listen to these episodes on KMWV 98.3, all and up and down the I-5 corridor, Oregon, on your radio FM station. So we try to keep them closer to an hour now so they work better for radio production. But the biggest thing I heard is that it evolved for you. Am I wrong here? Your definition of intimacy evolved.
Correct.
Yes.
Up next, since we already went with a handsome fellow and I'm more handsomer fellow and I don't want to show her up, we'll go with a pretty lady. Well, she's got a matching hairdo. She kind of looks like Biff with the little thing in the front. Audra, go ahead. How do you feel about intimacy?
Well, that, again, tough question, because through trauma and years of terrible relationships and learning intimacy from TV, I just realized that, Janejira hits it with, it's just all about all those steps of routine of, first you do this, you hold hands, then you kiss, then you get the boyfriend, then you have the babies. And so it just felt very robotic to me, and it still does sometimes. So I have a very hard time with intimacy, because then I've also had sexual assaults and things that have happened to me. So sometimes I have a hard time pairing the two because of the trauma. But in my adult years, I have learned how to help with that through therapy. And so now I do enjoy the little things. It's not just, I can't look people in the eye because, of just the way I am, but I do like holding hands sometimes. I much prefer just to be in a room with somebody, watching TV, or on our phones. If someone's just laying their head in my lap, that's really cool. I like that.
Vibing.
Yeah, just sitting there, just knowing that somebody's in the room with me is what I like.
Man, I want to say something really toxic and be like, that was a 3-letter word, but I'm not going to do it. I'm not.
Don't kill the vibe.
Bitch, don't kill my vibe. I heard what you said. Righty D, what do you got?
Well, with my circumstances, is pretty challenging, because when it comes to intimacy, it is soap drama and cartoons do kind of fool you when you're young. You think you know everything. So with me, typical, eldest grandchild, eldest sibling, and the only daughter, I'm saying to my mom, I got this. I know what I can do. I know what I should do. Leave me alone. And no, I didn't. I was such an idiot. So I lost my virginity at the age of 16, miscarried that same age. So being emotionally abused, I didn't know what intimacy was really like, the definition, especially when it comes to relationship. So with step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's no book, no children's book, or not even Sesame Street even taught me none of this. I think I should sue them, but they never taught me none of this. Yeah, like what you should do. So it's all about experience. And when you do have a challenge or a trauma, it's easy to say hard to do, but it's when you get yourself back up and you know what not to do. But at the same time, though, the extra challenge is a bit like a video game. There's also that all of us we're all different. So you can't predict how the next person's going to be like just because of one person. And that's one thing a lot of women, especially in my area, my community, a lot of us keep painting the same brush on every brother. So it's like, oh, I've been hurt by Tyrone, so I think Leroy's the same. I think Jamie's the same. I think blah blah's the same. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, no, you shouldn't do that. You know. Basically, I've been around areas. My old area, it had a lot of ABWs. Now, ABW stands for Angry Black Women, but there's also a lot of white women as well who had laundrette, smoking a cigarette, and still cussing guys as well. But they'll have babies. So I don't want to be in that statistic. I want to be me and literally encourage a lot of younger women or women around my age to do better and think more positive. Because that's a lack of intimacy we had when we start off the wrong foot, if that makes sense.
Exactly.
So even with disability, it's really complex. But anything's possible. Love is still in the air. We just don't know which air is polluted and which air is clean.
Thank you. That was a good one. That's a good analogy.
Hey, some air smells like fart, some air smells like spring air.
My fart smell like roses.
Caroline. She's the reason for the word bitch.
Big tune.
Good old Outcast to get your feelings out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to dive into this one. I might take a couple minutes. I'm going to get some claps, some applauses. You bitches are going to love this. So I thought intimacy when I was young was just sex. And then I got married, and me and my wife were very intimate sexually and very close. And then she decided her best friend was no longer me. Well timed. She decided her mom and her friends were her best friends. And that's where intimacy becomes key. Because now it's no longer we, it's me and you instead of we. And that thinking, that intimacy, that level of intimacy is something that once you figured it out and had it for a second, and then you lose it, you probably can't put your finger on it the first time. Because you don't know what it was, what changed, when did it change, what day. I can almost remember the day, right? So that's the first part, is I remember when I lost intimacy, right? And then I got divorced, and I got divorced because my mom died, and when my mom died, I fell apart. But then I knew what it was like. I knew what intimacy was, because you have an intimate relationship with your parents. Not all intimacy is sexual, and that what builds a strong relationship is a sexual, a mental, and a physical intimacy between each other. Meaning, on a sexual level, you have one partner. On a physical level, meaning touch, back rubs, those aren't always sexual. You have one partner. And then on a mental level, you have one partner. Now, what does that mean? Been talking about that with a person I've been trying to talk to and get along with. It's being the first one you call, being the first one that answers. Who's that person? If I got big news now, none of you three are the first person I call. And I'm sure I'm not for you now. If the big news pertains to us, yes. But after you've got off that phone call with the person it pertains to, who's the first person you call? If it's not your mate, your level of intimacy is probably not there. Because that means there's somebody else in that hierarchy. And you can be polyamorous. Let me finish, because this is my opinion, polite kitty cat. For me, this is my definition of polyamorous, of intimacy. I'm not polyamorous. I'm not ethically monogamous. I'm not any of those things. I'm not bisexual either, or any of those other things. I'm a cis male. So I believe in one partner, and this is what it is for me, right? And so with that being said, it's not a bad thing that you call your other friends first. Maybe you know your partner's busy. So it's not an infinite or complete rule, but you should always be excited to tell your partner what's going on. And that's the main point, is that you should be so excited. Hold on one second. You should be so excited about the news and almost so excited to tell your person about the news.
Yes.
Yes, bitch. Did I get some finger snaps? Oh my God. Right. Can I get my claps? Can I get my finger snaps? Can I get this guy has learned. This motherfucker's starting to get it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the second part of it is when you can figure out, I had a person tell me one time, like, just slow down, relax, calm down. So, ooh. Don't rush. We're not going nowhere. All right. Now that's usually not a big deal for me, but sometimes you do get worked up. You're like, oh, I got to do this right now. Ooh, let's go. Right. So then there's that intimacy. And then there's also the person that can talk you through anything, talk you down, can know what you're going through without being there, can talk you through. There's so many new layers to what intimacy is to me that it's evolved. Like Janejira said. And then that level of intimacy evolves even further because you need all the other parts of intimacy that are not sexual once you reach a certain age. Because guess what? Your dick don't work forever, fellas. And we've talked about you might get vaginosis, the dry thing, all these other things as far as a woman goes too. So what are you going to do when that option goes out the door? Because
you want to know what love is.
Show me you love me.
Oh, you bunch of foreigners.
I want to feel what love is. That's a sad song. Any mixed kids remembers their white mom crying about their black dad leaving them alone. Oh God, Jesus.
Leave them alone.
Righty D's like, no, it was a Beatles song in the UK, but it's all right. Anyways, but that's the whole idea. Is I think that intimacy is really getting to that point where sex isn't the big deal. Like sex can't just be it. Sex can't be the answer. Because you know what, guys, their thing works all the time. Yours doesn't. And some days it's going to work better than others, but guess what? Theirs still works. And if you can't figure out how to stimulate their mind without stimulating their body, it's going to be a long day for you when you get older, buddy. That's where we'll end on that one. So this brings us to after we've built a certain level of intimacy to where I can stimulate you. Now you might be ready for an orgasm.
Bonfire weekend? You don't say.
You don't say. She said, I could go for one of those right now. Can I order two? Can I get one for now and one for later?
I think Variety D should go first on this one. She seems like the expert.
Well, you know.
Now that, hey, I'll take that in mind. Here we go, Variety D.
Well, if you guys are really like locked up like me, I mean, you know, I've been using, you know, like 2 of these, so I have used a few of them.
They're missing this time. They're missing.
Yes.
Oh shit!
Wilds, please sponsor us.
Unlike me, I need you to pull out a little bit. I need you. So we
you say pull out. What do you mean pull out?
For our audio only listeners, Variety D has a not sponsored Wet and Wild pleasure kit with many different tools of many different colors, shapes, and sizes. She's very proud of it. Duante has walked out. He's done.
Don't worry, it's not by West Coast Productions or Bang Bros or Playboy. These are some cheap. My mom bought me these enough cheap.
Hey, Wet and Wild, if you're listening, please sponsor us. Thanks.
Not Disney, not there. I've been there before, and they're very slippery. But it's but no, the thing is, I did use one, but it's really sad because you have to wait for it to warm up and you know, kind of stuff. And when you do have your own orgasm, you know, especially as a woman, on your own, you have to clear up the mess. You don't get no help, no assistance, especially as a disabled person. None at all. You have to clean up yourself. And then we go back to bed. I mean, you can go back to sleep because obviously you get a bit tired, you know, after an orgasm. But you feel guilty after. I mean, well, that's my personal thing. I feel kind of guilty. I go, there's no one here. I feel like what am I doing to myself?
All by myself.
Exactly. And it's the urges because you need it. I mean, you got to remember, I am 30, 3 decades old. It's been what? One too many years since I have not had sex. Like, this is really dangerous for my body. That's what I personally think. My family says, oh, this is great. You know, I'm like, no, this isn't. This is torture.
There might be something wrong soon.
I don't like it, man. This is nah. So like, it's really tough, but that's why we're watching, like I said, back to the reality show things. They don't talk about, you know, with the undateables or the love on the spectrum about sex to an extent. I mean, obviously it's not our business, but if they would want to, or if there's a program about that with someone with autism, Asperger's, epilepsy, or even cerebral palsy, like how is it like for them? Or, you know, all that kind of stuff. How do they perceive it? Do they perceive it as dirty? Do they perceive it as lovely? Do they perceive it as a work of art? Are they like what's it called in the 1970s? Are they like hippies but without the drugs? Okay, maybe medication by doctors, but do they have to take Blue Chew? Do they have to take, you know, some sort of Viagra or something? You know, the guys. Do the ladies have to, like, you know, oil up with some Johnsons or something, some oil? You know,
True. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's so many questions, yet so little answers. And that's why a lot of people who are not disabled will always assume that, oh, you guys are going to be so lonely. Especially with women, with us women, they will say, your crutch is going to be like cobwebs. It's going to be so dry like a matchbox.
Yeah.
You poor things. You know, I'll be like, shut up, man. No,
yeah.
They're just like, because it's not nice. And it's just like, that stereotype there, that's been going on for generations. And the thing is, this generation's got to change that narrative, which what we're kind of doing now with dating disabilities. So at least we're doing something, but just that no one's doing me. I'm gonna leave it right there.
D is available if anyone is interested, if any of our listeners want to call in.
1-800-VARIETY D.
Unfortunately, I don't have a 2,500-mile penis because I would poke you for me. Bow, hollow. There you go. Gotcha. A little back action. Did I have consent? I did that without consent. Do I have consent? I should ask.
Yeah. You said what? Some sense? Yeah, I think you have a little bit of sense. Yeah,
some sense.
Jesus Christ, I have no sense, right? It's I'll go. I feel like going next.
Do it. We're just gonna mess up the order today.
It is.
It's
I know.
A whatever day.
I laugh at this one because I think I've told you I lost my virginity at 11, and then I remember the second time having sex at like 14, and then I don't think I came till I was like 15 years old. Like I'm thinking about, like, you know what I mean? It's just, you know, it's like, okay, I'm out here doing this thing, and I know what to do with it, and okay, they're done. Great, cool, bye. Right, and then it changes, like, because I remember when I was married, there was the everyday sex, which is, you know, your routine, and then there was the passionate sex, and then one time I had the angry sex.
Oh,
yeah, like I was mad at her, and I was like, "Yeah, bitch, you're gonna take this dick." Oh my God, yeah. I really answered this question this time, didn't I? I went there. And I remember just not being relentless. Just put it to you like that, right? And not caring if it was no slow down, no it hurts, no, oh, you're gonna take it all, you're gonna take it now, and I'm just gonna go, and we're gonna go and go and go, right? And Woo! So I remember at one point, and that was just like, this isn't cool. Like, it just didn't feel intimate, right? And then it's like I think the best sex or the best orgasm is when you're and I get all mushy, and you're doing the kisses, and you're tonguing them down, and you're nibbling, and you're moaning, and she's climaxing when you climax. And that's not just I got home on Saturday and took somebody home sex. That's I know you, and I've nibbled on you, and I've teased you, and I've been waiting all night, and you're rubbing on my leg in the club, and I played with your thigh on the drive, and I've been waiting for this since 7:45. We done had an old night of entertainment, put on a movie, lit some candles, took a shower first. I've been patient for this meeting in my bedroom. Do you know what I mean? Like, I done set the vibe. I hear Variety D like, oh, yes, daddy, please. You know what I mean?
Like a 1990s movie on BET. This is
After Dark, Soul After Dark, those videos. You know what I mean? Like, that's a different one. And, you know, if you haven't done it, don't call me. I'm not looking for subscribers or stalkers anymore, because I've been turning them into stalkers lately is what's been happening. You know what I mean? And by the way, Don Zanklin asked me every day. Yes, bitch, every day. I'm a firm believer my dick won't work one day. So every day you're going to get this dick, because when it stops working, I don't want to hear no damn complaints. You know what I mean? Now, that might be 85, that may be 65, but in between now and then, I'm going to give you as much as this quality beef I can give you, sunshine.
Oh, very generous. Wow, how much?
Whoa. Shit. I told you, we weren't signing up new members. We're not signing up new members.
Damn it.
Damn it. Damn it, right? But I think that's the change, is when you and then also there's been the I'll go there. I'm gonna say it. I think 90% of men always come when they lay down. 10% of guys don't always come. For women, I think it's the other way around. I think it's 90% of you guys don't most of the time, because the guy doesn't know what he's doing, or he's not in the mood, or you don't know your body yet. And 10% of the time, some of you guys are just like, everywhere. So I'm glad I got a laugh out of that. So with that being said, I know I'm not the 10% that always just he's anywhere's right. And so I think the harder part is when you get older and you know your body, especially as a man, and you try to have sex with somebody who isn't, and it's not intimate, and they're really not attractive with you, and you cannot hit your orgasm, and they're just like, are you done yet? And I'm just, no.
Oh no. Oh God.
Are you gonna be done anytime soon? Probably not. And even if I am intimate, I've practiced or tried to make it so. She said, "What about a workshop? You need to train some of the guys out there." Jesus Christ.
I think we have a new show idea.
Don
Welcome
Zanklin
to Sexy
said,
Workshop.
you may not be taking no new members,
Wait.
but what about a workshop? You need to train some guys out there so they can take new members. Jesus Christ, that's
How to be a better man 101.
Jesus.
Yes, train.
But so the second part of it is like, at some point you've got to figure out what works for you. And I think we talked about, I had the one girl who bit me all the time. I really didn't like being bit. But I'm not going to lie. I felt like a sexy bitch walking around knowing that I just murdered this cat. And that's why I look like I got beat up, but I didn't get beat up. I beat it up. So that was kind of an ego trip. I can't lie to you. I don't like being bit, right? So I actually got up out of the house one time when she bit me. I was like, nope, no more sex. All right, I'm going. Bye. Put my pants on, walked right out. Like literally.
Fuck
like,
this shit, I'm out.
Yeah,
Right,
I told you.
Sanitize your hands now.
You gotta tie me down. I heard what you said. Tie the knot harder. Tie the knot, you son of a bitch, Variety. If you use handcuffs or a boat knot, he won't get away next time, right? So that's just my bit on orgasms. I think it changes. I think it evolves like everything else. And then I think with a proper layer of intimacy, all orgasms can be magnificent.
Yeah.
That killed the answer, didn't it? The proper layer of intimacy, all orgasms can be excellent. All right, next to the polite pussy. What's up? What do you got, pussycat?
All right. So I'm gonna of course I'm gonna go off of your answer from the last time and say, okay, so there are many people who I am not polyamorous, okay, but there are many types of love out there, and they're not I don't consider it a hierarchy. This is where Dante and I disagree a little bit.
We're not talking about intimacy. We're talking about orgasm.
I know. I'm gonna get there.
I'm gonna get with me about my
I'm
point.
not arguing. I'm just saying.
Yeah, get to your point.
It's my platform now. I feel like I'm in one of those presidential debates. My platform. I'm use it how I want.
Mandated orgasms.
Because we have those different levels of intimacy, and where there could be friendship or like you said, parental or whatever, or a sexual partner, sometimes it's hard for people to, like I said, pair the intimacy with the orgasm and have an orgasm themselves. So for me, this brings me to my point, which is I am demisexual. I can't really have a sexual relationship with somebody unless I have some sort of like really deep emotional bond or with them, because otherwise I can't do anything. It's not fun. Again, it becomes robotic. It's just like this thing where it has to come to an end. So if I have that bond and that intimacy, and if we can read each other's love language, no matter where it's at, then yes, it can be, like Dante said, so fulfilling and so rewarding and so spectacular on a whole other level. Because like I said, I'm not the one to do one night stands, and I'm not putting that down for anybody, because like, you do you. If you want to go out and have those one night stands, and great, awesome, all for you. It's just very hard for me to have that bond.
That was a boring answer. Anyways, no. She's like, whatever. I said my piece. Fuck you. I'm hitting you and I sip my coffee. You're an asshole. Anyways, to the handsome potato enthusiast, how do you feel about orgasm?
I've had like a complicated relationship with orgasms and stuff, because I've been with guys that are just like so fixated on their ego, and they're like, yeah, if I get you off, that makes me like an awesome man. It's like, bitch, it's not all about you. It's supposed to kind of be about both of us, but okay. And my past relationship and my current one are like night and day right now, because my previous ex was just very focused on the getting of the off. And if he was not able to get me off, he'd take it very personally. And that made me very sad, because it's like, okay, this is not fun. Like, what is this? This is sad vibes. We're supposed to be having happy vibes. I do not like this. So that just like made me not look forward to when sex would happen. And it's like, sex is supposed to be like sporadic and fun and magical, and you're supposed to focus on each other and lose yourself in the moment. And I didn't have that. But my new partner, he has the personality of a golden retriever, and I am here for it. He's just excited about everything. And one thing I love the most is that he like hypes me up so hard, because he'll just look at me and be like, you look like a work of art. And I'm just like, oh my God, thanks.
Oh, yay.
Yes. And I realized that like I have to be there emotionally and mentally, and you got to stimulate my brain. And then the orgasms can actually happen.
And then jump on it, man. Jump on it. Come on now.
Yes. He respects that I'm the dom, and that gives me more confidence, and it makes me more excited, and I get hyped. And sometimes we'll even like, we both have ADHD, so we'll get distracted and just like talk between kisses and like have a great conversation and then get back to it. And it's a magical time. And I love it. But like, I cannot have the climax and stuff without the emotions and the connections. And then sometimes you get so lost into it, it's like, it's not even about that anymore. It's just about celebrating being together and the love.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, can you feel the love tonight?
I know. Like you have to
That's
maintain
not big dick energy. You're taking
excitement.
this pipe I'm jackhammering you, and you're taking it all, mama. Calling you a dirty little whore, and that's how it works. Yeah.
I mean, sometimes I go into it with that attitude, just like, I'm a do you, okay?
Ooh, all right. There we go. All
Because
right.
I'm the one that does
That's what I
that.
was trying to hear. The one that killed me, and I think this was the one, is that I once told a woman, I was like, she was like, what was it? Somebody was like, I'm gonna smack you. I was like, ooh, please do. And she's, what? I said, oh, I'm a big guy. Nobody gets to smack me and call me a little bitch. Go ahead. Tell me what to do. Go ahead, boss me around. She says, what? I said, yeah, nobody bosses me around. It's okay. Go ahead.
Sometimes the man likes to be the little spoon.
Yeah.
You gotta flip the script a little.
Yeah. Every once in a while,
ain't that
hold me.
Yeah. Buy the guy some flowers.
Tell me my hair smells good. Tell me I'm a pretty bitch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think that's a good place to end. How many people are going to be like, Suitman said, call him a pretty bitch? Next show, everybody's going to be like, what's up, pretty bitch?
Sometimes treat him like a king sometimes.
And treat me like a dirty horse sometimes and send me home walking with my shirt around my ankles and just the walk of shame. That's what I want to.
No, you want an S&M. You want BDM or something like that. You want one of those things, isn't it?
No.
Oh, wow.
No.
We went from 0 to 100 so quick.
Yeah. I was gonna say,
65,
whoa.
63. I was lying. I don't want all that. I don't
You
want
mean 69?
63. I'm the six, the extra 6. I'm just over it. But, so here's the thing: his parting is such sweet sorrow. We're trimming these down to an hour. It's been fun. We got it there. And next month we're gonna have our first guest on Dating with Disabilities. It will be Juliana Hang out of Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
Yes.
Comedian, asexual, and autistic. So a lot of A's there, a lot of A's to talk about, right? Other than that, it's been great. I'm glad you guys got to join us. Give it up for the politest pussycat you ever seen, Audra Sisak. Give it up for Dirty Diana, who has a variety of dildos. That's why she called her Variety D. She's got a variety of dildos to peg you with, right? Give it up for that handsome fool today. The gender fluid flowing like a river, potato chip enthusiast. And last but definitely not least, the guy with the foulest mouth. The guy your mom loves. Like when I meet grandma loves me and I get to cuss around grandma and you're like, how the fuck does he does that? I don't know. I'm huggable. I'm cute.
He's a big teddy bear.
Yeah, they know I'm a big teddy bear. I just say fuck a lot, right? Suitman Barnett. You guys have a great night. If you're in the Seattle area, big news. If you're in the Seattle area, big news. Next Friday, we have Jokes at Jules. We've got comedians from New York, Idaho, and what's the other one? Chicago, as well as our local lineup. And then the week after, I'm actually closing out the open mic at Nate Jackson's Super Funny Comedy Club in Tacoma on the 16th. And then the week after that, we've got the pre-Thanksgiving bash. We're doing a comedy show. We've got 2 DJs. Come out, have a good time. Thank you for tuning in. See you next time. Hey, make love to your old lady tonight. Stop just fucking her, okay? Holla.